Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a reading for you for the full moon in October, also known as the blood moon, the sanguine moon, the hunter's moon. You can pick your favorite. But we are coming out of Libra season. I did a new moon reading where the new moon was in Libra. Now we are in the middle of the lunar cycle, and the moon itself is in Aries. So that means that we've been thinking about how, about the collective, about working together with other people. And now with Aries, it kind of brings the attention back to ourselves and what we're doing. And then on top of that, full moons are a great time to let go of things that are no longer serving us. And the reason that we want to release and let go is because if we just think that we want to bring in new, we run out of space, we run out of focus, or these things that we aren't releasing become obstacles for us. So it's very healthy part of the cycle to release. And let's start asking some questions, Taurus. So what emotional baggage is Taurus holding on to too tightly? Is there something that our lovely Taurus is holding on to too tightly? What is Taurus holding on to too tightly? We have death in reverse. So, death in itself represents change. Death is part of the cycle. Death, and nothing escapes death. So I feel like, and this says stagnation, fear of change, and avoidance. So I feel like right now you are really holding on to tightly something that you just don't want to let go of. And I think you know what it is, and it's kind of like run its course. And the thing is that when you're holding on to it, it's avoiding a change. Sometimes it's even a change that we know is going to be a positive for us, but we hold on to it because of our ego. Taurus, you are an earth sign. You can be very stubborn. You can be very practical, which is great. But the flip side of that, or the difficulty with that, is when something comes up, like maybe it's an opportunity and it's a little bit out of your comfort zone. And it almost feels like specifically with you and with when we have death in reverse, like the stagnation, like there's some signs that cannot handle stagnation at all. You almost find comfort in that. So it's a change. It's almost like, I think that it would be very positive for you. I think deep down you know it's very positive. It's just you're having a hard time wrapping your head around it. So what aspects of this can you let go? And we come up with the 9 of matches. You gotta let go of this fight, Taurus. You can see this bird. He's sitting here in front of these matches. This matches is a boundary. I almost feel like, and again, this is something that is very positive about you, Taurus, where you are very resilient. You have this very strong will, and you're very persistent when you come up with things. But this is kind of like you need to use your persistence in the positive. And what I mean by that is instead of chasing what's behind you over here and what you need to let go of, move forward. So this is something that I feel like it could be a relationship. It's already behind you. It's already in the past, but somehow you're dwelling on it. And somehow you're like, I'm going to get them back, or I'm going to get this job back, or I'm going to get this position back. I'm going to get this thing back. You have to let it go. You have to give it up because there's something better coming for you. And I think that in it of itself, like that thinking that I need to hold on to this person, this thing, this position, where I live, what I'm doing, like at this, or what you were doing. And I feel like you've already kind of moved out of it physically, but you're mentally still like, nope, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to get it back. You know, fighting for things is, you know, very positive, but I feel like in this situation, it's holding you back. You're being very resistant to change, Taurus, and it's not letting you. You know, this bird should be flying. This bird should be opening up his wings and just enjoying this freedom. And you are the one keeping yourself tied to it. You're keeping yourself grounded to it, which is your, you know, a strength, really. Oh, and then we've got Temperance. So how do I let this baggage go? And this is balance. Temperance also allows for you to bring in information, bring in new thoughts, like something fresh. Right now you're blocking it with this 9 of matches. You're not letting it come in at all. You're like, because the 9 of matches, see, the matches are behind this bird, but really they kind of act as a boundary. Usually it's like something is coming at you here and you're like drawing a line in the sand, like I'm not going to cross this, I'm not going to move. But what it's really doing here in this situation is keeping you bound to where you are and not letting you move forward. You also have, you know, when you have Death in reverse and you have Temperance, these are both major arcana cards. So this is something that can be amazing for you when you allow in kind of just start thinking about, okay, the flip side of this. Start thinking about like, okay, this was great. And I feel like at one point, like it was really fantastic, but what would it mean to you if the next situation was even better? And I feel like that's gonna just really allow some freshness to come in, because the Death and the 9 of matches feel like you're really digging in your heels here, Taurus, which is so you. But right now, Temperance is saying, okay, let's try to balance here. Let's bring in, and usually like, I feel like you're like firmly planted on land, right? Temperance usually has like 1 foot on land and then 1 foot in the water. So let's test some waters, Taurus. Let's actually like think of change and new things coming in as a positive for you, because that might be why you're resisting. So many times we encounter death. I'm going to like put that in quotes. We encounter change, and it feels like, it might feel like a literal death for you. It might feel like really like a difficult energy. It is just here to clean things out though. It's just here. And the reason that you want to do that is because we're going to bring new and better things in. The situation changed and it's behind you and it's in the past for a reason. And sometimes like writing your thoughts out, like maybe doing a pros and cons list, can help you remember what that reason is. Patience. Green corn moon. And actually I don't see anything in here about like having to move very quickly or having, you know, it's just having patience and understanding like you're going to shift your focus and then move forward and move forward through this new gateway, this new portal that's opening up for you, because you've got to let some things go. I also love this imagery of her carrying this balloon. Like you don't have to bring everything with you all the time. You can just trust on yourself and trust that, you know, I'm having this image of like, And I'm guilty of this myself. Like my car has everything and anything I could ever want at any moment. But I don't need all that stuff. And sometimes that weighs me down. And it could just be like, you know, if you have all that stuff in your car and you go to get groceries, you don't have room for it, right? Something as practical as that. My husband has like all these toolboxes in the back of his car. We can't even take it to go get groceries because there's no room. We have to unpack that stuff. We have to like leave this stuff alone. And this is talking about this journey for you is just lightening your load. And if it is, I don't see any swords here, but these are major arcana cards. So, I mean, it very much, I mean, we talked about emotional baggage. We talked about, you know, thoughts can come in and can weigh heavy on us. You have to let some of these thoughts go. And I realize we're having a human experience, and that's more difficult than we think, especially when in our human selves and we get our ego involved. The ego is something that's going to fight death all of the time, even though, you know, because it does not like change. It likes things being steady. You yourself, Taurus, are somebody who likes things being very steady. Temperance is saying that it can still be steady even if you're experiencing different things in different worlds. You can still be balanced even if you bring some new things in and let some new things go. You don't have to change everything all at once. I think that's why patience is here. Just focus on like one thing at a time. Like, what is it? Like, write something down. And I also love the idea of like, if it is like in your thoughts, write it down, like a belief, like I don't want to move on from this job because I feel like it's my dream job. Well, why do you feel like it's your dream job? And like at one point maybe it was your dream job, but right now it's not serving you anymore. Or, you know, this relationship, because I feel like this death is a change that happened in the past and it's really kind of difficult for you to get over. It could even be, you know, just anything difficult for you to get over, like emotionally. And obviously the only thing, the more things change, the more they stay the same too. So, so don't resist change. Sometimes a change needs to occur so that we get that feeling back that we really enjoyed over here. Okay, Taurus, one more card here. And we have one more card for Taurus for this full moon. She who sees, observe, perceive, scrutinize. Very interesting. I think that, you know, there's also kind of like seeing things in a new way or seeing things with a different perspective. The way that you're doing it right now is not helpful. So, and it's keeping you kind of trapped, okay? So journaling, I love journaling. It's a great way. Bouncing this off of somebody who really has your best interest in mind. You can bounce ideas off of them. That's a little bit difficult though, because you have to understand that they are going to give you their perspective. So that's great because it gives you a new perspective, but then it doesn't always fit you too. So you have to really use discernment when you use this bouncing your ideas off of other people, because in one aspect, it's great because they can give you a perspective that you never even thought of. But in another aspect, you have to understand that their perspective is perfect for them and not necessarily you. So it can help like shift you, but you have to, again, that's why I think balance, or this temperance and balance is here, because you have to balance that out. You can't like live your life through other people's opinions, but they can give you kind of a broader perspective of things that are going on. And then you have to ask yourself, I feel like temperance is also kind of related to, because, you know, you've got one hand, you're being very practical. You've got your 1 foot on land, but you have 1 foot in water too. You have to run everything past your intuition to know if it's right for you. So that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next reading. Thank you.